Welcome, everybody, to the Jordy Max Show, brought to you by MaxLawns.com. For all your lawn maintenance needs, check out MaxLawns.com. We are here talking about Round 3, Conference Finals of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Chauncey, what's your thoughts so far on Round 2?
So far in Round 2?
Or what's happened in Round 2?
Round 2's over, is it not?
Correct.
Yeah. I thought Round 2 was everything that we expected. Toronto is dust
Choking
and
inside.
terrible, and they're never going to make the conference finals. I was pleasantly surprised by the Oilers and their effort against Las Vegas.
You said Oilers in 4.
I did, but I was pleasantly surprised because just because you predict a positive outcome doesn't mean that it's going to happen. So I said Oilers in 4 or 5. They did it in
5. You
5.
said 4, but I digress.
Regardless.
I said 6. We met in the middle.
Yeah.
And your theory about the tickets,
what's
true. They'll charge you for 2 games. They only played 2 games at home. Of course, Toronto chokes. Think it's kind of funny that 2 of the series went to 5 and the other 2 went farther, 6 or 7. Yeah. Washington
I was kind of disappointed in the Dallas series because I honestly really wanted Winnipeg to win.
Yeah.
But that being said, the better team won. Winnipeg, they were a good team, but they were banged up. And
Hellebuyck couldn't do anything.
Well, you know what? They were banged up.
Yeah.
And I'm never gonna put it all on the goalie because it's a team game. So at the end of the day, even if you got a crappy goalie, you still have the opportunity to win.
1,000%.
Hellebuyck is a Vezina candidate year over year. And I take it back to a couple years ago when Vegas won the Cup with Adin Hill.
Yeah.
He was a mediocre goaltender, and they won the Cup. Darcy Kemper, same thing. He was just an okay goaltender, but they won the Cup in Colorado, right? Stuart Skinner, just an okay goaltender, but they went to Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final. This is what I'm talking about.
Jordan Binnington.
Right, exactly. So I never blame the goalie for the ultimate loss in the playoffs. It's a team game, and at the end of the day, Winnipeg, they were banged up, and the better team won.
Of course, if you're a Florida team, you need a good goalie to win a cup. Tampa Bay and Vasilevsky, Florida and Bob, that's really all they got.
I mean, Bob hasn't played the greatest.
Yeah.
He's played not like a Vezina candidate for sure. He's played more like a mediocre goalie, but
Washington got spanked.
Yeah, well, that Washington's team is just okay. And, their keeper is just okay. So at the end of the day, here we are, right?
Yeah. So true. Okay, well, let's get into our round 3 predictions here. We'll start off with Florida and Carolina.
Well, I think Florida takes it, but I don't think Carolina gives it easily. I think Carolina is going to come in and show everybody why they're a perennial, at least Western Conference final type team. They have decent goaltending. They have very good defense. And, with the addition of Taylor Hall to their front end, I think Carolina is a good team, but I don't think they're good enough to beat Florida.
Fair. What's your prediction? How many games?
I think it's going to go 6. I think it's going to go 6. Florida and 6. That's what I'm calling.
Okay. I would love to see both these teams face the Oilers. Of course, Florida with the Oilers getting redemption. And I'm just saying the Oilers in general. I'd love to see both these teams kind of go to the Cup final. Florida going to 3 Cup finals in a row. Or Carolina finally getting there for the first time since what, 06?
Wouldn't that be something? Carolina and Edmonton? That'd be crazy. Redemption?
You know what? I think Florida gets bounced. Florida went to 7 with the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Toronto's got firepower. Don't underestimate Toronto.
Yeah,
as much as they're the butt of everybody's joke, Toronto's a tough team.
But at the same time, if you look at it, Carolina spanked Washington.
So what? Washington's not a very good team.
They have the greatest goal scorer of all time.
Yeah, so what?
I'm just saying that I think right now Carolina is the better team.
Okay, and that's fair.
Because the top line is firing on all cylinders. Jacob Slavin's playing insane.
That's gonna be a tough match, and what I'll say is whoever makes it into the Stanley Cup Finals out of the East, they're gonna have a tough time because they're both in for a war.
Mm-hmm.
And when you come off a war trying to go into another battle, you're in big trouble.
I'm calling Carolina in 7.
Okay.
And you said Florida in 6?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Western Conference Finals, Edmonton, Dallas. Both of them are rematches of last year.
Mm-hmm.
Carolina and Florida, right? Or was it Rangers, Florida last year?
It was Rangers, Florida in the Western Conference Final.
Yes, and the year before was Carolina, Florida, which is still crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas, Edmonton. Wow. Actually, no brainer. I'm just gonna go by averages here. Edmonton and Dallas.
You gonna count this guy out?
Hell no. I'm gonna go by averages here. Dallas had 2 series. One of them went to 7. One of them went to 7. One of them went to 6. Edmonton had 2 series. One went to 6. One went to 5. So statistically, it's gonna be a 6-game series, and I call Edmonton for the win.
Okay.
And my bracket would be Edmonton moving on to face Carolina, Edmonton with home ice, because no matter if the Oilers make the Cup final and no matter which team comes out of the East, it's going to be there because both teams finished under us in the standings.
I'm going to say Edmonton in 7.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How many tickets were you charged for?
No, funny story. I was only charged for 2. Yeah. But I'm saying Edmonton in 7, and the reason why is because Dallas's firepower is off the chain right now. Rantanen is sitting on a whole other level. He's got the experience. But that being said, I think that towards the end of the series, if Ekholm is good enough, maybe he steps in and my prediction goes away.
Looks like he's going to be ready for about game 3.
We'll see what happens.
That's what.
But here's the question: would you rather have 100% Stetcher versus a 60% Ekholm?
They're saying he might be ready for game 2, but
I'm asking you a question though. What would you rather have, 100% Stetcher or a 60% Ekholm?
60% Ekholm.
I disagree.
Stetcher doesn't have as much experience.
He did just fine against Vegas.
I know that, but
Vegas is a perennial Stanley Cup contender.
You know what? Actually, no. I'd prefer to take Stetcher because then if he had a 60% Ekholm, it would kind of ruin the defensive mojo at this point because he hasn't been healthy all playoffs. And at this point, I don't even think we need him unless we play Florida.
Well, wouldn't that be something if Ekholm draws in the Stanley Cup final and all of a sudden they're playing with 7D?
11-7?
Oh, yeah.
I don't think they... Do you think they'd do that?
I mean...
Who do you pull out of the lineup?
Oh, I already know who.
Who?
Cappy.
Really?
Yeah.
The guy that scored the series winner.
Mm-hmm.
You think you pull Kasperi-Kapanen out the lineup?
Let's see how he does in Dallas.
Okay.
Let's see. Because here's the thing about Kapanen. Kapanen is a good player, but he's not consistent.
You know what I was...
Podkolzin is consistent.
Mm-hmm. You know what I'm going to say? I think that the defense is doing great. Here's what you do. Ekholm played enough games in the season that he would get his name on the cup. Don't play him.
It's not name on the cup. I'm pretty sure that it's ring.
Name on the cup and ring. I think that's what
Positive. It's positive that you have to play one game in the Stanley Cup Finals to get your name on the cup.
Or I think it's one game in the playoffs. It's in the playoffs.
Let's Google it.
While
you're.
Here's what I'm thinking. If the team is doing good,
Yep.
and you have a three, for example, Oilers are beating the team in the Cup final 3-0, and they have a chance to win the series, but it's not at home. Here's what you do. Draw Jeff Skinner into the lineup and draw Matthias Ekholm into the lineup. Have them play just a few minutes of shifts. And then you go back to the normal lines the next game. And you know why you do that? To get their name on the cup. The team's doing great already. That's what you do.
Okay, here it is. You are technically right, but then
Technically wrong.
I'm technically right. So, in order to have your name engraved on the Stanley Cup final, you must either play at least 41 regular season games or participate in at least one Stanley Cup Finals game.
So Matthias Ekholm would get his name on the cup.
He would.
And so would Jeff Skinner because he played 72 games for the Oilers
Correct.
this year. So that's great. You don't even have to draw him into the lineup. My opinion, if Ekholm's not 100% healthy and this defense is riding high, I wouldn't even put him in.
I wouldn't.
Because it might ruin the mojo, and still, if he's...
But how about John Klingberg?
Holy crap.
He's like circa when Dallas went to the Stanley Cup final, John Klingberg.
Like, is this 2020 again, or am I crazy? I think John Klingberg definitely thinks it's 2020.
So where are we at?
So
we got.
Let's give our early Cup final predictions.
Oh, Edmonton, Florida, Edmonton in 5.
Okay, and so what did the 06 series go to? Edmonton, Carolina?
7.
Edmonton, Carolina, Edmonton in 7.
Okay.
Little redemption there.
All right.
Okay. What are we saying? Where are we at?
Backlash.
Round 3, done. Let's give a recap of Backlash.
Where was he? He's a big Hawaiian. Where was he? He was wrestling indies, but I feel like he was in TNA. Maybe. And I believe he was in New Japan for sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised about that.
But yeah, so keep going. Jeff Cobb.
Yeah, he interfered, helped Jacob with Lucha Underground. That's what we're looking at.
Mm-hmm.
And then PWG. Yeah, makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
New Japan. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was, I don't even know, was he Bullet Club? I don't know. Maybe he was. United Empire. Aha, that was Osprey's stable. Yeah, so Jacob Fatu did not look thrilled. He was also in Ring of Honor. Jacob Fatu did not look thrilled. Didn't even know that it happened. Yeah.
So who is he with?
Jeff Cobb, Solo Sikoa.
JC Mateo?
Yeah, they changed his name because of...
Oh. These names that WWE come up with.
It's been a little bit better. They've actually let some people keep their names.
I'm surprised they didn't have, like, Big Bad in front of his name.
Oh, they
Or
stopped doing that.
Bearcat. Keith
Oh
Lee.
my God. Well, that's all Vince stuff at the same time. Even like
JC Mateo.
Seth freaking Rollins, they've toned it back a little bit.
But isn't Jeff Cobb his real name?
Yeah, it is.
So why wouldn't they just go with it? I don't understand.
They want to, because if he leaves and he becomes a big, that's the reason that they do this is because if he becomes a big star in WWE and then leaves, they don't want him using his name.
Okay.
Or so they can like copyright it.
Right.
Here's what's very cool. This has actually been a thing that they've been doing lately. I recently listened to an interview with Chris Van Vliet and Indy Hartwell. She was released from WWE, and she asked, "Hey, can I keep my name Indy Hartwell?" And they're like, "Yeah." So she said that was the name she was using on the Indies before.
Yeah.
They let her keep it, and they just trademarked it. But then they just sent her over they transferred the trademark over to her. So that's that. I like that they're doing that now and actually letting talent be like, hey, like you can actually use your name. So that's cool.
What's the next match?
Lyra Valkyria defeated Becky Lynch for the women's IC title via a roll-up.
That's kind of a surprise, hey? But I guess she's getting a push.
Yeah, well, she already got a push. She won the women's IC title.
Mm-hmm.
And then Becky attacked her after the match. I think Lyra has a broken nose now. Like, actually has a broken nose because she got a stiff boot to the face. Dominic Mysterio defeated Penta via screwy shenanigans, which wasn't even Judgment Day somehow. It was El Grande Americano. He just kind of... Or was it Americano or was it Gable? One of the two. It's the same person. We don't care.
Different guys, eh?
Same dude. Man, it's Penta's on 3 losses now. 3 losses in a row. 4. Mania, this one, like a Raw one.
Everybody, you know
this one, and then a tag match loss.
Everybody thinks he sucks.
I don't. I love Penta.
Yeah, but he always loses.
He's lost 4 matches, and the rest of them he's won.
But so his job is just to put people over?
He's lost matches because of screwy finish because of interference.
I see.
So.
What was the next match?
Okay, Gunther defeated Pat McAfee by submission. 14-minute match, surprisingly. It was actually, I think it was entertaining.
Really?
What do you think?
I mean, here's my question. Either Pat McAfee has it in his contract where he's got to wrestle a certain amount of matches, or they're doing a disservice to all the talented people that they have in the back that don't get a match. That's what I think is frustrating.
They've been building this storyline, though.
Yeah,
well, look at this. Raw after Mania. Gunther taps out. He comes out. Tries to choke out Michael Cole. McAfee steps up for his broadcast partner.
But here's my question.
Gunther chokes him out.
Is there nobody in the back that can challenge Gunther?
I think it was a match to make him look strong.
Against announcers?
Exactly.
That's like King Kong Bundy against midgets.
I think that was the point.
Oh my gosh.
Like.
But that's what I'm like. If I worked for that company, I would be pissed that an outsider like Pat McAfee is getting a shot on a PLE before me. I'd be choked about it. That's just my opinion. Whether you agree with it or not, that's whatever. But
I think that it's kind of hard to say, but I don't know. I'd assume that he has to have a certain amount of matches in his contract because he's usually had one about every year, maybe 2 every year. So like, I'm assuming it's just that like, hey, like we'll put you in a match every year. Because look, Mania 38, he faced Theory, and then he faced Corbin later that year, and then the next year at Mania 39, he faced Miz. Mania 40,
Vince McMahon.
It was an impromptu. It was just storyline. Mania 40, he didn't have a match. Or 2024, he didn't. 2025 came back.
But wasn't he fighting like Adam Cole and stuff like that too for a while?
even in 2020, 2021 in NXT. So I think that's just, I guess, part of his contract.
I don't know. Just my opinion. Whatever.
And then John Cena defeated Randy Orton via pinfall. I have a gripe about this match.
Sure.
Randy Orton AAs and RKO's John Cena through like 3 tables.
Mm-hmm. And
Ref bump, Cena gets right back up.
Mm-hmm.
Literally 2 minutes later.
Mm-hmm.
The RKO, they've protected the RKO, and well, the AA's been unprotected for so long. But the RKO protected it for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Gets right back up, low blow, belt shot.
What did John Cena say? I'm here to ruin professional wrestling.
That's not what I just feel like that's just poor booking. At least do something else instead of him bopping right back up.
But here's the thing. You're mad at John Cena right now. That's beautiful.
I'm not mad at Cena. I'm mad at the booking.
Yeah, but
I understand why it's, I guess, relevant, but
this is
kayfabe makes 0 sense.
This is probably one of the most epic heel runs that I've seen in a long time. It's beautiful. I'm here for it.
I think that you could have waited at least 2 more minutes just to give him a few more minutes to actually make it make sense kayfabe-wise before doing the final spot instead of rushing right into it. Because then it ruins it.
Maybe.
It ruins the illusion of the RKO.
Maybe.
Well, look at it. He was about to take a punt. R-Truth gets in front of it, gets RKO'd. Cena pops right back up. Low blow, belt shot, 1, 2, 3.
And here we are. What's coming up on WWE? What's the next PLE?
Saturday night's main event.
Okay.
On Saturday.
This Saturday.
I'm
glad it's not on a Sunday.
R-Truth versus John Cena for the title.
Yeah, R-Truth is going to win.
But I hope he does.
The title won't change hands.
It's for the title.
R-Truth is going to win.
Oh, DQ. Yeah,
but
makes
the
sense.
title won't change hands.
It's going to be like a long match, and then Cena's just
John Cena is going to bloody R-Truth and destroy everybody's childhood.
He already did that.
Yeah, but now he's going to do it for real.
R-Truth is less of our childhood. It's more of his own childhood. I don't know. What else is on Saturday night's main event? Oh, Jey Uso versus Logan Paul. CM Punk and Sami Zayn versus Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker. And I think there might be 1 or 2 more matches.
Is anyone else joining that stable?
I don't see it at this moment. Give it maybe a few more months. Maybe at SummerSlam.
Think so?
I think so.
All right.
I don't think right now. I think right now they're in a good spot because they're still building.
Mm-hmm.
Look at stables.
Do you think a female's gonna join?
I wouldn't be surprised. But here's who I'd love to see. Austin Theory.
Austin Theory?
I would love to see Austin Theory join that stable.
Maybe. I don't know. Austin Theory is he's kind of like Seth Rollins.
But he's a younger version.
Yeah.
Breaker's the...
We got...
Look at this as evolution. Seth Rollins is the Triple H. Braun Breaker is the Batista. Paul Heyman is the Ric Flair.
Mm-hmm.
Austin Theory would be the Randy Orton type.
Okay, I'll give that to you.
Because he's a young guy. He would, he has that Orton type of style. I think. Maybe. A young Orton type style.
And what's up with Cody Rhodes? Heel turn soon? He's getting frustrated?
Wait until the end of the year. He hasn't been on TV. Just, I guess, waiting until... It's the post-Mania thing. So he might come out on Saturday night's main event. I wouldn't be surprised.
Guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
So, we predicted the Oilers. We predicted the
Eastern Conference Finals.
The total round 3. WWE is in full swing.
Hell yeah. On
the road to SummerSlam. So, I guess that's it. Like, share, subscribe. Check out Instagram, TikTok, YouTube.
Any social media platform.
Yeah.
In the meantime.
In between time.
Stay classy, everybody. See y'all later.